Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into something that can honestly make or break any team: communication. We're going to look at some really powerful strategies, and maybe more importantly, the digital tools that can totally transform how your team works together. So let's get right into it. But first, just take a second. Think about it. What is your team's biggest communication headache? Is it the never-ending email chains? The meetings that seem to go absolutely nowhere? Every single team has that one thing that just grinds progress to a halt. We've all been there, and today we're going to unpack that. Okay, so let's actually give these challenges a name. We're going to start with what we can call dreaded behaviors. You know, those subtle, often unspoken things that just quietly sabotage teamwork. Figuring out what they are is absolutely the first step to building a truly great team. So what are we really talking about here? Look, a dreaded behavior isn't just someone having a bad day. It's a pattern. It's that recurring action that makes everyone else just kind of sigh internally. It disrupts the flow, it sucks the energy out of the room, and it's basically the friction that slows everything down. And what's wild is how recognizable these are, right? You've got the constant interrupter, who just can't let anyone finish a thought, or the silent critic, who says nothing in the meeting but has plenty to say behind the scenes. Oh, and my favorite, the idea hijacker, the one who takes that brilliant thing you said and, magically, it becomes their idea 5 minutes later. We see you. Recognizing these types is so key. All right, so we've named the problem, but, just pointing fingers, that's not a solution. What do we actually do about it? Let's walk through a really simple but powerful framework for handling these kinds of situations. It really just boils down to these 3 simple steps: identify, engage, and resolve. First, you've got to clearly and calmly identify the specific behavior, not attack the person. Second, you have to engage them in a real conversation about the impact it's having. And finally, you work together to resolve it by agreeing on a better way to move forward. It's simple, it's actionable, and honestly, it's incredibly effective. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's why that first step is so crucial. You just can't fix a problem that you're pretending isn't there. Acknowledging a dreaded behavior isn't about starting drama. It's about taking ownership of the team's health so you can actually find a real solution. Now look, having these tough conversations is a human skill. There's no app for empathy, right? But, and this is a big but, the right technology can create an environment where clear communication is the default setting. It can make these difficult conversations happen less often and be way more productive when they do. Which brings us to tech-powered team talk. And this is not just about sending messages faster. It's about fundamentally changing the whole structure and clarity of your team's communication. It's about putting systems in place that actively discourage those dreaded behaviors we were just talking about. Just look at this contrast. I mean, it's night and day. The old way was the swamp of scattered emails, updates buried in some random thread, and that super vague, looks good to me feedback. The tech-powered way, it's a central hub. It's real-time updates. It's clear, trackable comments tied to a specific thing. It's a difference between shouting into a crowd and having a focused, productive conversation. So how does technology actually fight those dreaded behaviors? Well, having a single source of truth, think a Trello board or an Asana project, documents ideas with a timestamp. That stops the idea hijacker dead in their tracks. Total transparency makes it way harder for the silent critic to operate in the shadows because conversations are out in the open. You get the idea. It's about building a better, clearer system for everyone. Okay, so we've covered dreaded behaviors, a framework to handle them, and the tech that can give you a major assist. Now, let's put it all together into an action plan that you can literally start using today. So here it is, your action plan. First, just name it. Give that nagging issue a name. Is it a constant interrupter, a non-committal responder? Just naming it gives you power over it. Second, when you're ready, use that identify, engage, resolve framework to have a real conversation. And third, start using a digital tool to build a foundation of clarity and transparency for your entire team. And that brings us to the final, most important question. This is your call to action. Think back to the very beginning, that communication challenge you first thought of, that dreaded behavior. Which one are you going to address first? Because improving your team's dynamic, it all starts with that one conversation.